Star Trek Generations is about both Kirk and Picard working together, trying to fight a common enemy that's trying to destroy a star system for his own benefit. This movie came out on November 18, 1994, which puts Star Trek Generations at 30 years old as of today. I'm a huge fan of Star Trek Generations, and I can go on and on about how much I like this movie as well as other Star Trek movies. But instead of doing that, let's take a different spin to this and talk about the inconsistencies / mistakes of Star Trek Generations. I took some notes over here, and we can talk about mistakes such as why didn't the Enterprise rotate their shield harmonics when the Bird of Prey was firing their disruptors right through the shields? I mean, that's Starfleet 101. Rotate your shield harmonics. But anyway, let's go on to the burning question of, did Picard ever leave the Nexus? Just as a quick recap, when Picard was talking to Guinan about the Nexus, Guinan mentions a few different things. First, she mentions that once you enter the Nexus, you won't ever want to come out again. Number two, she says that even if you wanted to leave the Nexus, you can't. And then number three, time has no meaning there. So you can go back and forth between different time periods as you wish. So with those points being said, one of the questions that came up was, why couldn't Picard go back in time and stop Soren at an earlier point instead of waiting until right before he's firing that weapon? Well, one of the things that people were saying is the butterfly effect could be taking place here, right? So the further back in time that Picard goes, the more things that could happen that can alter the future, and to the point where it might be not repairable. For example, if Picard goes back in time and kills Soren early on, that might set off a chain reaction that can vastly alter the future. Now, another person on the web made an interesting speculation. This person said that maybe Picard doesn't want to just kill Soren just to kill Soren, that he wants to do it only as a last resort. So he wants to kind of catch him in an act, and then only if that's the only option to kill Soren. Now, what he could do is go back in time a little bit further, but if Picard goes back in time, gets Soren in trouble, Soren goes to jail, well, Soren still wants to get back to the Nexus, so he's going to do whatever he can to get back there, even if it causes even more devastating effects in the future. But what if Picard never actually left the Nexus? What if Picard, as well as the crew of the Enterprise D, never actually left the Nexus? Because remember, the Enterprise D's saucer section crash landed onto Veridian 3, and then Veridian 3 got hit by the Nexus. So what if that happens? That would mean that anything happening afterwards, all the Star Trek movies and TV shows, Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Insurrection, Star Trek Nemesis, as well as Star Trek Picard, were just fabrications of the events that happens within the Nexus. Hey there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Now, don't wait until next Tuesday.